Joan by Carol M Mottershead, Chapter 23. Our lives settled down for a while. We were happy again. As was typical of Punchinella, one of his good traits was that he wasn't prepared to feel sorry for himself for too long. The economy was still poor, so he and the rest of the troupe decided to take on whatever work they could find. On top of that, Nicholas spent as much time as he could spare studying medicine with Arthur, although Arthur was finding he had less time to mentor him, the more popular his publications were becoming. I was once again the major breadwinner in our household. Punchinella still wasn't too pleased, but we needed to eat, I reminded him of the words he used when Nicholas was young. I had some very fine clients too, Queen Victoria being one of them. She had so many children and grandchildren with birthdays that she became quite a regular of mine and recommended me to many other aristocrats. I didn't mind adding a little extra to the household income when I could. I was happy to help. But Punchinella, not so much. He would become moody whenever I gave our money away, especially if it meant there was little or no money left over for his drinking. I was trying to do what I could to help everybody as much as possible, and I wasn't able to feel happy with anything I achieved. After performing to a good crowd or to a good customer like Her Majesty, I wasn't able to enjoy a sense of pride in my work. Every good feeling I had was marred by worrying over how Punchinella would react when I arrived home. I was living on a knife edge with my nerves, and Nicholas, I felt sure, was beginning to notice. Every day I would put on my makeup and put on my mask and start the whole thing over again. I've always said that my puppets reflect my life, and after hearing about the curse, I added a new puppet to my show, the Devil. It replaced Scaramouche. I also began calling Daddy Puppet Mr. Punch after being struck by his elbow in my face. The Devil would often win his battle with Mr. Punch and take him down to hell for his naughtiness, but whenever Punchinella was watching, I'd make sure that Punch won his fight. In hindsight, I suppose Arthur would have probably said it was another one of those passive-aggressive things, but that wasn't my intent at the time. I wanted to empower Punchinella to believe he could beat his devil, beat the curse of the gypsy, that he felt he was still waiting to happen. I actually wanted to take his fear, his anxiety for the future, away. Why did people have to think the worst of me? Why can't they see I'm motivated by a belief in love? I know a lot of people think the worst of Punchinella. He's an ass, a fool. But he's my ass and fool. I've seen him at his worst for a long time, I admit, because of that potion. I've seen him at his best too, when he was the man I fell in love with. Funny, with a laugh that made you want to laugh with him. Eyes that twinkled with such an excitement for life. The cheekiest grin that could melt away any grumpiness you felt. And his words. Oh, his words could charm the birds right out of the trees. That was the Pulcinella I fell in love with. Queen Victoria was a woman after my own heart. She loved her children and would book my shows whenever she could. "It's for the children, you know. They love it so," she said on one occasion. "As for myself, it amuses me, but don't tell Albert," she whispered from behind her gloved hand. "He is afraid it will encourage me to hit him with my tiara, bless him. He's not known for his sense of humour, you know." I didn't envy Queen Victoria one bit. She had to be strong yet feminine. It was obvious she loved Prince Albert. They appeared to complement one another so well. I just found it strange that she couldn't support the new movement for women. A movement known as the suffragettes. I heard it said that she believed a woman should be strong, but that men and women have different roles to play, and that a woman should be a wife and mother first and foremost, not politics. I could appreciate part of what she was saying, but roles for women were changing. Her own role, for example. Wasn't she doing the work that a man should? Wasn't she herself dealing with politics? Women were expected to do far more than ever before, especially with so little work around for their menfolk.